Let's be honest. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to eating healthy. What feels good and balanced for one person might feel totally off for someone else. And that's something I wish I understood sooner. For a long time, I thought I had to follow all these strict food rules. Counting calories, skipping meals, avoiding carbs. You name it. But the more I tried to control everything, the more out of control I felt. It was exhausting. If you've ever dealt with binge eating or struggled with food in general, you know how complicated it can get. It's not just about what you eat. It's about how you feel about food, about your body, about yourself. In this video, I want to keep things real. I'm going to share 11 healthy eating habits that actually helped me feel more in control, more confident, and more at peace with food. No crash diets, no toxic wellness rules, just small changes that made a big difference. I'm not a doctor, and I'm definitely not perfect. I've just been through it, and I know how hard it can be. So if you're in that space right now, I hope this gives you some ideas, and maybe a little hope too. Let me just say this up front. Skipping meals might sound harmless, even helpful, if you're trying to be good. But in my experience, it does more harm than good. I used to think I was being disciplined by eating less or pushing through hunger. But truth is, every time I ignored those signals from my body, I was setting myself up for a rebound. Not just hunger, chaotic hunger. The kind that whispers, "You've been good all day. Now go ahead and eat it all." Now, I don't play those games anymore. I eat when I'm hungry. I don't wait until I'm shaking or thinking about food nonstop. That simple shift, respecting my hunger, changed everything. And here's another mindset that helped me heal. Food is just food, not a reward, not the enemy, just food. Pizza isn't bad. Cake isn't cheating. They're just things you can enjoy, without shame, without spiraling. The moment I stopped making food a moral issue, I started feeling free. Not perfect, just normal. And honestly, in a world obsessed with extremes, feeling normal around food is kind of a superpower. The second thing I want you to know is to slow down a little when you eat. If you've ever overeaten, you'll know that feeling. When you're eating something you enjoy, it's easy to rush through it, trying to eat as much as possible. But the truth is, slowing down while eating is actually a really important habit. For me, it's all about taking the time to really enjoy my food, not rushing through it. When I do that, I actually feel more satisfied and in control. A simple example, I used to eat a whole pizza in one sitting, barely tasting it, just shoveling it down. Now, I take a few moments to really savor each bite, and I find that I end up eating less and feeling fuller, without the guilt or the urge to keep going. One habit that really shifted my relationship with food is cutting back on portion sizes. I realized that when I fill up my plate, there's this urge to finish everything, even when I'm already full. Instead, I started with smaller portions and focused on eating mindfully. If I'm still hungry afterward, I can always go back for more. But most of the time, I don't need to. This simple tweak helped me to stop overeating without feeling deprived. It's not about limiting myself. It's about giving my body the space to tell me when it's truly satisfied. When I don't feel pressured to clear my plate, I enjoy my meals more and feel better afterward. Eating with intention is a game changer. This might seem like a harmless habit, but eating while distracted, whether it's scrolling on your phone, watching TV, or working at your desk, can actually mess with how much you eat and how satisfied you feel. When your mind's somewhere else, it's easy to miss your body's signals. I used to think multitasking during meals was a time saver, but all it really did was leave me feeling unsatisfied and more likely to snack later. Now, I make it a point to eat at the table, without distractions. Just me and my food. It's a small shift, but it makes meals feel more intentional and honestly, way more enjoyable. I'll be honest, I don't always feel thirsty, and I often mistake thirst for hunger. It's happened plenty of times where I'm feeling hungry, grab a snack, and later realize I was just dehydrated. To avoid this, I make it a point to drink more water throughout the day, especially before reaching for food. But it's not just water. I've also found that drinks like fresh juice or herbal teas are great alternatives for staying hydrated. For example, a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice in the morning or some cucumber-infused water throughout the day not only quenches my thirst, but also makes me feel more energized and satisfied. It's a small change, but it helps me stay in tune with my body and keeps me from overeating out of confusion between hunger and thirst. One thing that really helped me shift my perspective on food was learning about the concept of calorie density. It's a game changer when it comes to feeling full without overeating. The idea is to choose foods that take up a lot of space in your stomach, but don't carry a lot of calories. This approach is part of what makes the Okinawan diet so effective. They focus on eating foods that are low in calories but high in volume, like lots of veggies and whole grains. For instance, when I make meals like meatballs or pasta dishes, I bulk them up with vegetables, zucchini, spinach, bell peppers, whatever's available. The veggies fill me up more, so I don't need to eat as much of the calorie-dense stuff. It's a simple way to enjoy satisfying meals without going overboard on calories. Grabbing fast food or pre-packaged snacks is super convenient when you're in a rush. But while these options can save time, they're often not the best choice for your health. Here's a simple tip. Instead of always relying on takeout or processed snacks, try spending just a little time prepping something easy and healthy to take with you. A quick wrap with veggies, lean protein, and whole grains can be just as quick but much better for you. Plus, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just a small change can make a big impact on your well-being. I've found that taking a little time to plan my meals makes a huge difference. It keeps me on track, saves me from the stress of last-minute decisions, and ensures I'm eating balanced, healthy meals. Plus, it helps me avoid the temptation of unhealthy takeout or convenience foods. The best part? Planning meals also gives me the freedom to include some fun stuff. Like, we always have a family pizza night, or I'll make a big batch of homemade muffins for a weekend treat. It's all about finding that balance, and meal planning makes it possible without feeling restricted. If you're someone who struggles to stay organized with meals, I highly recommend giving it a try. It's a game changer for me, and it's so much easier than it sounds once you get into the habit. A big game changer for me has been setting up my environment, so it's easier to make healthier choices. For instance, I don't keep high-calorie snacks like chips or ice cream at home. Instead, I fill my kitchen with easy, nutritious options like fresh fruit, yogurt, and nuts. These are all ready to grab whenever hunger hits. By making healthier snacks more accessible and keeping the tempting junk food out of sight, it's way easier to stick to better eating habits. If I'm craving something sweet, I can just grab a banana or some yogurt rather than reaching for something that'll leave me feeling sluggish later. It's all about creating a setup that these are the healthy eating habits that have truly made a difference for me in my journey toward healing and living a balanced, mindful life. It's not always easy, but each of these habits has been a stepping stone towards feeling better, both physically and mentally. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to join our growing community. Here, we're all about keeping things simple, whether it's in your diet, home, or mind. Check out more of my videos for tips on mental health, minimalism, and how to make life easier. Thanks for watching, and remember, every little step counts. See you next time.